Scarborough is one of the most searched areas in Toronto for buyers who want real value inside the city. And for the right person, it delivers. But there are 5 things about living here that most people don't find out until after they've already arrived, including reason number 4, which almost nobody warned you about. Watch this video first. My name's Jordan Abrams, 9 years helping people move to the GTA. All my info's down below, so reach out if you're curious. Let's get into it. Reason number 1. The reputation. Scarborough has been called Scarberia for decades, and look, it didn't come from nowhere. But here's what most people don't know. The data in 2026 tells a different story. Major crime categories across Scarborough have been trending down meaningfully over the last several years, and a lot of that reputation is outdated. Because here's the reality. Guildwood near the Bluffs is one of the most exclusive addresses in all of Toronto. Executive homes, waterfront access, the kind of neighborhood that surprises people who wrote Scarborough off. But that comes with a price tag that puts it in a completely different bracket from the rest of Scarborough. If you're moving here for value, like most people are, the real story are places like Steeles, Agincourt, Highland Creek, West Hill. Consistently safe, family-friendly, good schools, green space, and communities that have been quietly thriving for years. But not all of Scarborough has made that progress equally. There are still specific pockets with real safety concerns that show up consistently in crime data. The problem is, Scarborough is enormous, and the difference between a great family-friendly street and the one you want to avoid can be just a few blocks. That gap is completely invisible on a listing. You find it by talking to someone who actually knows this market. Quick quiz, true or false? The Scarborough Bluffs are actually taller than Niagara Falls. Drop your answer in the comments below. Answers coming up later in the video. And if you're trying to figure out which parts of Scarborough are worth targeting and which to avoid, that's exactly what I do. All my info is down below and on screen, and I personally get back to everyone. Reason number 2, the commute. Here's the reality. The Scarborough RT, a rapid transit line that connected Kennedy Station to Scarborough Town Centre and served the area for nearly 40 years, was shut down in 2023 after a derailment. It's gone. Right now, getting from Scarborough Town Centre to downtown means taking a bus to Kennedy Station, then transferring to Line 2 of the subway into the core, a door-to-door trip of 45 minutes to an hour on a good day. There is some good news though. The Scarborough Busway opens this September in 2026, a dedicated bus corridor from Kennedy Station to Scarborough Town Centre that cuts the trip to about 15 minutes between those 2 points. That's a real improvement that's actually happening this year. And the subway extension is coming. 3 new stops extending Line 2 east into Scarborough. But here's the thing, that just got pushed to 2033. That's 7 years away. Scarborough has been promised transit improvements for decades, and the pattern of delays is a real part of living here that you need to factor in. And beyond the downtown commute, getting anywhere else from Scarborough takes time. West to Etobicoke, north to North York, anywhere that isn't directly on the Kennedy corridor, you're driving or you're adding significant transfer time. That said, Scarborough does have relatively easy access to both the 401 and the 404 highways, which makes getting around the broader GTA more manageable if you're driving, but that's the key word, if you're driving. Coming up in reason number 3, this one catches people off guard more than anything else. Reason number 3, car dependent. Scarborough was built for cars. Wide roads, plazas, strip malls, big box retail stores. Outside of a few specific pockets, the street level experience is largely car dependent. If you're coming from a walkable city or even from downtown Toronto, this is a lifestyle adjustment that people consistently underestimate before they arrive. WalkScore ranks most of Scarborough in the car dependent range. Compare that to downtown Toronto or the Danforth, where you're in walker's paradise territory. That's not a small gap, that's a fundamentally different way of living. Now there are exceptions worth knowing. The Kingston Road corridor running through Birchcliff, Cliffside, and Cliff Crest has a great neighborhood feel, local shops and restaurants generally within walking distance. And certain pockets near Scarborough Town Centre are getting denser with new condo developments and more walkable amenities. But those are the pockets. Most of Scarborough is not that. Car insurance in Ontario is the highest in the country. Add payments, gas and maintenance, and the affordability gap between Scarborough and the rest of Toronto starts shrinking faster than most people expect. Quiz answer, true. The Scarborough Bluffs are actually quite a bit taller than Niagara Falls, believe it or not. At their highest point, the bluffs rise 90 meters above Lake Ontario. The Canadian Horseshoe Falls dropped 57 meters. Most people get that completely wrong, and the bluffs are one of Scarborough's most underrated selling points. 15 kilometers of dramatic lakeside cliffs with 9 parks running along them, right inside Toronto. Genuinely stunning. Up next is reason number 4, and this is the one I almost never hear people talk about before they commit. No amount of research online is going to prepare you for this one. Reason number 4, the neighborhood variance. Scarborough is enormous, like I've been saying. It stretches from the DVP all the way east to the Rouge River. And within that footprint, the difference between a great family neighborhood and one you want to avoid can be a single street. Here's what I mean. So if you see a house priced noticeably below everything around it in Scarborough, it's almost always priced that way for a reason. And if you're searching from outside the GTA, you're not going to know which is which. You're looking at square footage and the listing photos. You have no idea what's just 2 blocks away. The desirable pockets are the real deal. West Hill, Agincourt, Highland Creek, safe streets, good schools, strong communities that have been thriving quietly for years. These are neighborhoods that deliver real quality of life at prices that are significantly lower than anywhere else in Toronto. But here's the reality. Getting into one of those pockets versus ending up somewhere you didn't intend is not something you can figure out from a search. It's not on realtor.ca, it's not on Google Maps. It's the kind of knowledge that comes from someone who has spent years working this market and knows the streets. That's exactly what I do. All my info is down below, and I personally get back to everyone. Reason number 5. No city feel and no real downtown. Scarborough Town Centre is a mall, a big one, a useful one, but it's still a mall. The kind of street level urban energy people picture when they think about moving to Toronto, busy sidewalks, restaurants spilling onto patios, something always happening nearby, that's not Scarborough. Late night options are limited. Entertainment venues are thin. If you're moving to the GTA specifically because you want to live in a city that has a pulse after 9 p.m., Scarborough is not for you. But here's the flip side. The food scene in Scarborough is one of the most underrated in all of Toronto. The diversity of the community means you can find authentic Tamil, Chinese, Caribbean, and South Asian food at a level that rivals anything else in the city. If you know where to look, Scarborough's restaurant scene is excellent. And Scarborough has some of the best nature across any neighborhood in Toronto. Rouge National Urban Park, the largest urban park in North America, right inside the city limits. Thompson Memorial Park, Guild Park and Gardens. If your version of a great weekend involves being outside, Scarborough actually over-delivers. But if you want the full Toronto urban experience, the neighborhoods, the nightlife, the energy, it's mostly not here, and knowing that before you commit matters. Who Scarborough is for. So after everything we just covered, let's be real about what Scarborough is and what it isn't. The reputation has real roots, even if it's partially outdated. Getting downtown takes planning, it's car dependent, the urban energy isn't there, and if you don't know which specific neighborhoods or streets to target, you can end up somewhere that doesn't work for your family. Those are real things worth knowing before you sign anything. But here's the other side. Scarborough delivers for the right person. If you're a family who wants a detached home with a backyard inside Toronto city limits for under $1 million, Scarborough is one of the only places left in the city where that's actually possible. The nature access is world class, the bluffs, Rouge National Park, trails, green space that you simply can't find anywhere else in Toronto. The food diversity is outstanding, the schools in the right pockets rank well provincially, and the subway extension, even in 2033, means people buying the right neighborhood now are getting in ahead of an infrastructure investment that historically drives significant price appreciation. The people who thrive here know exactly what they're signing up for. More space, more value, more nature, and less of the urban energy that comes with paying downtown prices. That's a real trade-off, and for the right person, it's absolutely the right one. The people who struggle moved here expecting a Toronto neighborhood experience and got something completely different. Now you know that before you commit. If Scarborough is still on your list after all of this, or if you're trying to figure out whether it should be, that's exactly the conversation I have with buyers every single week. You tell me your budget, where you work, what your family needs, and I can tell you in about 20 minutes which specific pockets of Scarborough make sense for your situation. All my info is down below and on screen right now, and I personally get back to everyone. If this video helped at all, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. New Toronto real estate videos every Tuesday and Friday. I'm Jordan Abrams. I'll see you around town.